weeks. I haven't seen you in a while.
I know.
You had bad allergies?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, it wasn't this week. It was the week before. But it was. I decided to take some time off work because I have this, like, string of people who are going out on vacations. So one of them was out this week. And then from a chunk of next week, 2 people are out. So I was like, I can't take time off. And then I, like, planned it out kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was like it really didn't do anything because I was so...
You're so like zonked out by it. No, Madison had very bad allergies too. It was a really bad cut, like 2.5 weeks, 2 weeks. She was getting sent down to the nurse all the time because her eyes were so red.
Yeah.
It's sad. It was very sad. But it seems to be a little better now.
Mm-hmm.
Clearing up.
I don't even know what episode we're doing.
I think it's chapter 33.
Uh-huh.
Shadow of a Doubt. Because we did the musical.
Our last one we did was a musical, right?
No, I think we did the one after the musical too.
Maybe right.
Because then the Vixens had those like outfits.
Capeletts, yeah.
Exactly.
I did watch the finale today.
So did I. Well, not today, but I did. What did you think?
It was fine.
It was okay.
Shadow of a Doubt is, yeah, the one after that was called Prisoners. Oh yeah, it is 33. We're in the 30s now.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I gotta open it in another browser. I thought that the finale was like, they were just setting up a lot of stuff for next season. Not really closing things out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But that was okay. I mean, I kind of like the Polly's cult is going to come back now. It seemed like she was going to get her mom in the cult. So that seems kind of interesting.
Oh, yeah. I guess. I don't know. I find Polly a not interesting character.
You don't want to see any more of Polly than you have to.
Not really. Riverdale. It just opened up. It took that as Merrily Riverdale. I like that.
Merrily Riverdale. And of course, Cheryl Blossom becoming a serpent was great. I enjoyed it.
I like her, of course, her custom jacket.
Of course. How could she have any other kind of jacket?
I love that the cabal scene at the end where
it's
all of Hiram's people, and then Penelope is just like, and my brothel.
I know. She loves fucking for
money. But like, she also wants to like run classes for the next generation. It's great.
I guess.
Yeah.
She just wants to teach. Oh my God, that was pretty funny. I did enjoy that. I did. I thought they were going to go to Cheryl's house when they went to the north side, but they didn't. They went to Archie's house. That's okay. Well, it was fun. It had like some fun moments in it. Okay, tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready. I made you wait long enough, Rose.
I am also ready. Okay. Let's hang on. Let me just get this right here. Get my closed captionings on.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna hear all the commercials during the break because
you know I love to do that.
It's not your fault. I know it's your computer.
Okay, Ryan. Hi, Ryan.
Hi, Rose.
How are you?
I'm good. I was just deciding what my comments were by decoding them in the Nancy Drew secret code book. How about you?
I love the Nancy Drew shit. I'm great as well. I'm excited to be here with you this evening to talk about Riverdale, chapter 33, the Shadow of a Doubt, right? Shadow of a Doubt. Yes, that's right. Well, it's been a while, so let's catch up with what is going on. The Black Hood is on the loose.
He's back, baby, in black. Good, that is.
Oh, and Chick. They're still sort of recovering from the Chick situation at
Well,
Betty's house.
yeah, well, like, because first of all, the show never answered whether or not Chick is dead. So I'm going to assume at this point that Chick is, like, not dead. That's
Just
what
gone.
I think. Gone. Yes. The crux of this episode, because of how the last one ended, because gentle listeners, Rose and I have taken a couple weeks of breakage because they're just circumstances beyond our control. Am I right, my co-host? We
Yes.
just cannot anticipate life. But we ended with Betty like 100% suspecting her father as the Black Hood.
Well, I've suspected her father as the Black Hood since the jump. So,
as have I.
and time will tell that you're probably right. But Betty is very uncomfortable with this possibility, as of course you would be if you suspected your parent was a murderer.
Yes. I forgot Veronica's doing Archie's makeup at the beginning too. I forgot it was because Nikki St. Clair beat him up. Him and his goons.
Archie gets beat up a lot, or he gets in a lot of fights sometimes. I liked Veronica's dress that she was wearing when she was doing Archie's makeup. But Archie...
She's wearing a very bejeweled, like, sort of bow tie type setup. Her room is very, very Easter colors in the sunlight. Am I right? And then the minute you go into Hiram's study, it just smells like sandalwood, right? Isn't that what we said?
I thought you were going to say semen, but
no. What was there? We said this. We remember because I was listening to one of our old podcasts where we were like hysterical because you were telling me that whole story about what the pussy smells like. Remember?
Yes, I do.
And I said that Archie's pussy smells like sandalwood. It's like it is the pussy sandalwood smell that is in Hiram's office. That's what I feel we're getting 100% of.
Yes,
and
because
scotch. Also scotch.
And maybe like some smokiness to it. Like a smokiness. A fire smell.
Now I feel like you're describing what Hiram's pussy tastes like.
There you go.
What it smells like? It was what it smells like, right? Not what it tastes like. I
it's
forget.
What it smells like.
I knew I was going to get you to laugh.
Oh my god. Hiram and Archie, they really go on a journey together. It gets deep for those two. And it's a bit much, frankly, but whatever. I mean,
I would just say that they clearly love each other and they don't know what to do about it. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to express their love. And I would just say cutting each other's palms open and then like bleeding into each other is a bad move.
It's definitely not good to mix fluids like that. But they do it.
So before we get into any additional plot, we're going to spend, I feel like, the next couple episodes, because now we're in a unique position where we're a couple episodes ahead and we don't want to give stuff away just because we've got our advanced screeners, right? But I will say I've seen the journey that these characters go on in the next couple episodes, and I would like to just say that Veronica has lost me in a completely relatable way. And it's happened, she's brought me back. It's happened, she's brought me back. I feel like we've been on this slow burn journey for a while. And her cuckoo bananas B plot in this one is that the money that she got, the $1 million that she extorted from the St. Clairs in order to ransom their child back, now other teenage mobster sons come to the Pembroke to basically do business pitches to Veronica about what she's going to spend the money on. This
That seems very normal, Ryan. I don't know what you mean that that's not relatable.
in the
Didn't
grand scheme of Riverdale plots, again, because I think I've said this, I want to go back to this. They don't do mobsters well. The show doesn't know how to write anything relating to organized crime. It's clearly confused by the concept. The idea that a mobs like right, even maybe more legitimate mobsters would send their 16, 17-year-old sons to do investment opportunities with a 16-year-old girl who presumably they're aware extorted money from another one of these families seems like a bad idea. And also, I think Archie takes some of the meetings with her. It's strange. It's very, like they use Pops as like I guess her office? Question mark? I don't know.
maybe it's just like there's a whole junior mafia going around. Do you know what I mean? Like there's the regular mafia and then there's like the mini me mafia and they just have their own money and they can make their own deals. Like maybe their parents didn't send them so much as they just like, oh hey, like she's in the minor leagues with you guys now. I don't
Hiram and
know. Their
her
mafia shit doesn't make sense to me. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying there could be a logic, but it doesn't make that much sense.
Hiram and Hermione are discussing something in their living room towards the opening, and it is full daylight outside. Where clearly I think they're both drinking. They look like they're either post drinks or pre drinks. There's some sort of like drinking that's going to be involved, but it is clearly daylight outside, and there is a roaring fireplace just
Yeah.
going on midday.
And it's like the
And
springtime.
I'm going to imagine that their house is unusually warm. It
Maybe
just is
they're cold
hot.
blooded.
They're they their show has clearly displayed them as Latina, right?
Latina.
They have hot Latin blood,
Oh
Rose.
my God,
There's
Ryan.
no way. There's no way they're cold.
I'm deeply offended.
I apologize, but I'm just saying. I'm
I'm
trying to
kidding.
point out the ridiculous of having they show Archie in the locker room with the Bulldogs after this, where clearly it's in the middle of the school day. So I'm gonna say this is like pre 2 p.m.
Well, listen, first of all, you have skipped a very important scene that I want to get back to before we get back
Please,
to the
please
logic of the
go to
Bulldog.
all the scenes that you want to, please.
The number one, well, I like the scene with Cheryl. Betty goes to Cheryl, her cousin.
Did Cheryl
And
go to Betty? I think Cheryl goes to Betty. She like corners her in the bathroom and starts off by saying "dear cousin," which I always love. That like Cheryl speaks like she's writing a letter.
cousin Betty, it's been so good to see you. No, but I don't, I think that Betty goes to Cheryl because she wants some advice about her suspecting that her father is a murderer. And of course, Cheryl has experience with suspecting that her father is a murderer. So she's a person that Betty could go to who would have a unique perspective on this. So Betty has told Jughead, I think your dad's the Black Hood. And I think my dad's the Black Hood, rather. And
You
Jughead's
said
like, sort of not.
Betty told Jughead. You mean Betty told
No,
Cheryl?
Betty tells Jughead when they're walking to school, I think my dad could be the Black Hood. And
Oh, and
Jughead's sort
Jughead
of like,
Jughead thinks he's being silly a little
yeah,
bit.
Jughead thinks she's being silly. So then the next person she wants to talk to about it is Cheryl because she thinks that Cheryl will take her more seriously. And Cheryl does take her more seriously. And it's like, look, you could go to the police. And Betty's like, no, I have to be the one to stop him. So then Cheryl says, okay, well then you need to get proof. And you can buy time by um by pretending everything is normal. And I really hope that there haven't been that many Cheryl Betty scenes, but
I
I
know. I like
yeah.
them together. I do like them together. It's always purposeful. They're always like doing something, or Cheryl's popping up on Betty in the middle of the woods and talking about her wig and everything else. I I don't know. I was thinking about recently who my favorite character was, and I'm still gonna say I think it's Betty. I think I love Betty the best out of everyone. I don't know how
She's
you
great
feel.
with everybody. She brings everybody to a great level, and she does great like with Alice Cooper. She's obviously great with Jughead. I really like her with Cheryl. It's more fun when she and Veronica are together. She just it's I don't know. She's just a good actor, and she brings out the best in everybody and brings them to an interesting level. With her and Cheryl, I like it. I think because Cheryl is not as cartoonish with Betty. Cheryl is generally more serious with Betty and takes Betty's like very intense mystery solving aspects very seriously as well. So that's kind of why I like it, because it sort of like takes it down a notch for Cheryl when she's with Betty, weirdly enough.
Yeah, she's more grounded.
Yeah. She's just like, all right, let's talk business now. And plus it's fun when cousins hang out. Hey, cousins party over at Cheryl's. Oh, but it's sad because it reminds Cheryl that her father killed her brother. Because Betty's like, well, no, I don't think my dad would hurt me. And Cheryl's like, well, I didn't think my dad would shoot his son in the forehead either. So you never know. But go ahead. You wanted to talk about the Bulldogs.
No, I didn't. That scene is boring. They established that there's still serpent bulldog rivalry, which I think part of the reason was because while everybody was in school and should be getting along, the idea is that they are at odds because of everything that goes down at the end of this one and then into the next one. So it's like they establish that there's still um, tension between them, like
Right.
the resentment. So that kind of comes up a little bit. There's the whole thing with Hiram wanting to have Archie recruit the Bulldogs into being the Dark Circle, I believe it's called, because I don't know. Like they just stole like a screenshot of the ring. I don't really know what they're doing. I don't know what the point of this is.
Well,
I
here's
guess
the
like
thing.
why don't you explain it? Why don't you break it down for me, Rose?
Okay, first of all, Hiram Lodge thinks he's like Loki. He's just trying to cause chaos. Like that's his thing now. And he thinks that causing chaos will be good for his wife's like campaign, because Fred Andrews can't possibly control a town sliding into chaos. Like he's just trying to rile every fucking thing up. And so he's the one who's telling Archie, go get your black circle together, whatever the fuck, red circle, dark circle. And meanwhile, the Bulldogs are upset because Midge is dead, and you know, Reggie just wants to fight people, and Moose is like, yeah, Midge was fucking some serpent, I don't know who. And so they're just taking all these like tensions, like you say, and trying to like apply them to making them worse, basically. Making it more difficult. I don't know why tensions between high school students is the best way. Like there are other tensions in town. Like why wouldn't he want tensions between adult people instead of just tensions between kids? It doesn't make sense to me. But that's what he's trying to do.
It's also like you expected there. I mean, part of this is I'd like to just kind of go back and make maybe more conclusive notes about all the things that they kind of do that they never really go back to. So like one of them was like Hiram buys the paper, he buys the register, right?
Yeah.
But there's no real reason we get behind that. We don't even hear Hiram really directly talk about it. It's just like Jughead's like, he's controlling the media. Does he ever even go to the register or take any interest in what's happening or going on? The even more
Well,
complicated
also
plot
there's
line is when
there's
they
lots there's lots of other ways to get the news. Like again, in this town they act like the newspaper's the only way to get the word out. But like you could just post some information online. Go to what's up patch.com or like whatever that other app is where you talk about your neighborhood or whatever. Like it's
the
not the
Riverdale Reddit. The Riverdale Reddit. That's where
exactly.
you'd go.
I would be on that Reddit. I am actually in real life on that Reddit. People on that Reddit always piss me off. They're like,
Why?
well, I posted this online on Twitter the other day because somebody was like, I don't even understand why Tony likes Cheryl. Like, what is that about? I just don't see it. And I'm like,
get your summer vacation on.
Oh, yeah, get it. Get it. We're gonna get our summer vacation on in a couple weeks, Rose.
We are.
Am I right?
Anyway, so they were like, I don't understand why Cheryl, like Tony likes Cheryl. And I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? Do you have eyeballs? A lot of people were like, look, she looks good. Like, number one, she's a stunning girl. And if you like girls, maybe you would want to like look at her. And but then that person commented, yeah, but like Tony's really hot too. So I don't understand. I'm like, but do hot people not want to date hot people? What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't know. That person just pissed me off. Of course, Tony likes Cheryl. Cheryl's amazing. She's spectacular, as Tony mentioned.
I can understand why not everybody may love Cheryl like we love Cheryl, but everyone should because Cheryl is amazing. Wait, I just talked myself out of it. I don't understand it. It was like how I was trying to describe my excitement about the royal wedding to David today, and he just
I'm
couldn't
excited.
understand. Oh my God, everyone is! It's crazy royal wedding fever, Rose.
I'm excited because it's nice to have something positive to be excited about. I mean, so many terrible things happen literally every day. Literally today, terrible things happening in the news. So it's nice to see like two pretty people get married. Speaking of two pretty people, all right. Fangs was backstage with Midge. What were your thoughts on that?
He was hooking up with her, Rose. That's what we find out.
I thought he was gay.
I guess he's bi.
He was flirting with Kevin, right?
Was he?
I don't know. He was sitting there with him with his little jeans all rolled up, looking cute.
I don't know.
I guess he just likes to wear his jeans rolled up. I thought that meant he was a homosexual.
I thought he was supposed to. He talked Tony Topaz into going to see the Love Simon movie, which we heard.
It's true. He's the one who wanted to go see Love Simon.
But then he didn't show up. So maybe he's really just been on a journey this season. You know.
Maybe he was gay and Midge turned him straight. I don't know.
You know who I feel bad for? I feel bad for dead Midge because she had a gay boyfriend in Moose, and then she had another gay boyfriend in Fangs. And couldn't she just get Reggie? Like, wouldn't that have been nice? Because
maybe
Reggie just arm wrestles dudes half naked, super sweaty. There's nothing gay about it, okay?
First of all, Moose could be bisexual and Fangs could be bisexual. Fangs could be heterosexual for all we know. I saw no signs of it. But, and also, maybe Midge likes bisexual guys. Maybe that's her type. Maybe she doesn't want somebody who's so, like, into a heteronormative, like, toxic masculinity persona. Maybe she's into pegging and these guys are all for it. You know, maybe she has that side of herself that she also wants to explore.
Excuse me, pegging?
Yeah, maybe Midge was into pegging. She's dead and she can't tell us now, but that's my hypothesis.
I'm sorry, can you explain pegging to me?
Oh, I'm sorry, you don't know what that is, for real?
No, I don't, for real.
That would be a girl using a strap-on on a guy.
Okay. I thought it was like some term you were saying for like a girl who likes to get like plugged from like more than one dude at a time. No. So I like your thing better.
I don't know why. Like, I'm laughing so hard.
I don't know why my mind went there. I'm not happy it did, but at least I knew it was some sort of bizarre sexual reference.
You knew it involved something in something. Well, that's what mine was.
Okay.
I'm saying maybe Midge likes to be, you know, the penetrator.
Maybe.
We'll never know. She went to her death with this secret.
Maybe that was Rose. Maybe that was her sin.
Oh, right? No. Hal. Why would you know that, Hal Cooper?
Because he was pegged by her. He got pegged. You opened up that one. That was too easy.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, also, let's talk about there's a sexy new sheriff in town that I'm going to 100% say I care nothing about at all. He's the most two-dimensional, useless character in Riverdale currently. Thank you.
he doesn't even look very sinister. Like, he has a look about him that's very, like, although handsome, sort of plain. Like, he sort of doesn't have, like, a lot of behind the eyes, you know? So, here's the thing. Fangs is upset because Fangs is like, look, I was the last person with Midge. And so I could see how maybe this looks kind of bad for me now that she's murdered. And Jughead has footage that kind of shows this, not shows them hooking up, but shows that Fangs was around back there. So he goes to see the sheriff because the sheriff wants to speak to him about this footage and stuff. And Jughead tells Fangs to lay low. So that's how they end up talking with the sheriff for the first time. And of course, for the next couple episodes, we'll get more of this motherfucking sheriff, but I could give a shit about him.
He's like sweet. He's too tall. He towers over it.
I think you mean, oh yeah, you hate Sweet Pea's height. I'm so
I think this podcast has revealed that I secretly hate tall people.
Speaking of tall people, you know who I saw on the street 2 days ago?
A really tall person.
I saw Ryan Reynolds talking to Hugh Jackman, and they're both really tall.
Oh my god! I thought that was a joke.
No, I truly saw them speaking to one another. They were outside a little cafe, just chatting it up. And then Hugh Jackman put on his little bicycle helmet, and he bicycled away. And Ryan Reynolds walked the other way, and some ladies asked him if they could take a picture. And he was pretty nice about it. Did he take a picture? Yes, he did. They were both really tall. So I looked it up, and they are both 6'2". So there's some tall people. But I was like, I'm the lesbian. This is not doing anything for me, but I'm sure a lot of people would be very excited to have run into them.
Well, like people who love Marvel comics.
I do like Marvel comics. I just didn't. I guess you're right. I'm more of like a DC person. Anyway.
I love Miss Marvel. I know.
I do love Miss Marvel. I do love. Who else do I like from Marvel comics? I like some people. Mostly Miss Marvel. Oh, I like, what's her name? The Unstoppable Wasp.
I'm echoing for some reason.
Oh, no. What should we do?
I don't know. Let me try to get out.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Test.
Hi.
I'm echoing still.
Maybe it's me. Here's Jen.
Hi, Jen.
Hello.
What episode are you guys on?
33.
Is it the one we just saw or the one before that?
2 before that.
Oh, I can't say anything that I need to
We're
leave.
behind the times.
I can't say. Don't make me say.
Is it any better?
It's gonna happen every time I talk. I guess.
Maybe it's me. Let me leave and come back.
It's like I'm getting a delayed audio. So
okay, hold on.
It's Test.
Hi.
Test. It's
Can
not
you hear
happening anymore. I don't think.
No?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not. It's not. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was something from the commercial or something. We're audio problems all over the wazoo, Yndigoyen. I don't know what's going on. Okay.
All right, so we were talking about the sheriff. Oh, now we're back to Betty and her sleuthing. So Betty's acting all normal at home, but she takes the first opportunity to go snooping in her father's desk drawer at his office.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna call bullshit. She's 100% not acting normal. She's like, so, yeah, I was just at school today. What do you think about that, Dad? She is clearly something is wrong. She does not play it cool. Ever.
No. Well, but she does manage to get his planner and copy it and then call cousin Cheryl.
Yeah, she also I'm sorry, I'm just the night of interruptions, right? I'm just gonna say we're talking about when she was sleuthing at the register, right? Specifically that scene. So she requests that her parents get her something called an orange freeze. And I don't know what it is, but I want one. I'm just gonna say. So like orange freeze stat. Please get it sounds like something you get at an Orange Julius.
I was
in a
thinking that
mall.
too. I was thinking that too. It does sound like something from an Orange Julius, which is delicious. If you've never been to an Orange Julius, get your ass to an Orange Julius ASAP. It's
We
good.
love our calories. Okay.
So good. While she's talking with Cheryl at the register, they get a call from the morgue. The morgue thinks it's her mom, so they're like, "Oh, we have a body for you here. It's a male, mid-20s," and they think it might be Chick.
Alice Cooper's relationship with the mortician is strange.
That's what I was gonna say. She really has like a lot. I mean, she's a reporter. You probably do get those kind of contacts, but it always sounds like she's kind of like a vampire or some shit. Like they're like, got a warm body for you. Like, come on over and take a snack. Like, it's weird. It's definitely weird. I'm gonna sip champagne.
Please do. Please do. Do it like your Hermione Lodge. Do it like
I was doing it more like I was Notorious B.I.G.
Oh, that's fair. I like that. Living your best life. Does that make me Tupac?
No, we don't have a rivalry. I still want to know who killed fucking Tupac.
Everyone does.
Like, how could they not solve that shit?
Should we do like a side podcast where we just theorize about like who killed Tupac? I do feel like a lot of our personal feelings and sleuthing would translate well to talking about true crime, which we don't usually do. But part of the reason why I would never be interested in podcasting with you about it is only because I get like so deeply depressed about like
it's pretty upsetting. I listened to what was it, the Sword and Scale podcast?
Yeah.
The other day for the first time, and the crime they were talking about was horrendous. I could not. It was a very well made podcast. I think they did a great job with their research and the production of it, but there's no way in fucking hell I'm ever listening to that again. Like, I listened to that one and then I was like, wow, I think I may have ruined my own life and I'm not going to do this anymore. That's too much. It was too much. Too much for me. Way too much.
The girls on My Favorite Murder have talked about, I think, the last podcast on the left before and said that like the guys there do good research or something. So I listened to a couple of their podcasts and I'm gonna like, I usually don't unsubscribe from things. I'm gonna unsubscribe to it. It is so like frat bro dude, annoying, just like nerdy middle-aged men who think they're funnier than they are. It's like they're not funny.
It's so funny that you say that because it's just the other day I recommended My Favorite Murder to somebody who I thought would like it, and he was like, no way, I cannot listen to it, those women are so annoying. So, you know, it's about personalities, which is why you know, I don't know, as a podcaster, you just got to do it for your own self and the love of what you're discussing with your co-host, because people are going to like you or not like you. You know, you can't
see pictures of the ladies who do My Favorite Murder and they are completely not what I expected. So I'm like, do people like have an image of what we look like and then they like see a picture of us and they're like, that's not what I thought they look like. It must happen, guys.
Oh, I'm sure.
We're so much more gorgeous than you've even imagined. I'm just letting all our listeners know. But yeah, so I like my murder mysteries, completely cuckoo bananas fiction. So let's go back. Fangs has now been accused and arrested on school grounds. And what doesn't help his case is that he drops a switchblade because protection.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, he's in a gang. I mean, he has a switchblade. We've seen it before. I want to go back to Cheryl and Betty though.
You don't want to go anywhere else. Let's face it. You were just upset because there was Tony Topaz in this?
I don't think not really. Like they showed her face for like 2 seconds. But Cheryl and Betty, I know they're cousins, but a little bit I ship it. A little bit. Like a side ship. Like a little, like when I need a break from my main ship, I may board the ship. I don't even know what you would call it. Betty and Cheryl. Beryl.
Well, they're the cousin ship.
I mean, it's not because they're cousins. It's in spite of it. But
cousins? It's cousins?
No. But Cheryl accompanies Betty to the morgue, and they go and they look at this body, and it's not Chick, but Betty is very upset that it could have been Chick, and she's the one who delivered Chick to the Black Hood, which she fucking did. But my question is for the mortician or the what do you call it? The Dr. Isles of the place. What's that called? The medical examiner?
Yeah.
Why does he just let them see this body? They're not the person he called.
No, they pay him though.
Did they?
I believe they did. I believe Betty brought money. Was my understanding of that arrangement.
He just lets whoever has money go see the bodies? That still seems fucked up.
Cheryl isn't wearing severe red lipstick for the majority of this episode, and she does look like very sleuthy in her red coat with...
She's undercover. Poor Betty. She's had a rough time of it. She just... Remember where we started when she was just chilling in her room with her buddy Kevin and like, ooh, Archie's hot. Like, remember all that good times that they started with? Now
Archie broke her heart and she just completely slowly lost her damn mind. Once she invested in a black wig, it was another step in the wrong direction. Like it just has gone downhill.
But I did want to bring that up. Like Betty's always concerned that she has a dark side.
Well, she learned that from listening to the Katy Perry song. You know.
But having a black wig and wanting to have like kinky sex with your boyfriend is not the same thing as being a murderer. And I feel like somebody should tell that to Betty. Like,
I would just like to say the first time it wasn't about having sex with her boyfriend. It was about punishing evil men. And I am all about like black wigged Betty. That's what you know what? Somebody should do like a version of the song where it's like black wig Betty, ba-na-na-na-na, and then like that. Wouldn't that be great? And then it's like just scenes of her in the black wig. I don't think there's been enough of them, unfortunately. I would like an episode where like we just follow Betty like with her black wig adventures. Like where do they lead? Like what is happening? It is this weird thing the show seems to have forgotten about.
Well, it comes back, I'm sure. All right, so you were saying Fangs gets busted in the hall. Basically, the video of Fangs backstage with Midge is leaked by somebody, and then everybody's like, shit, Fangs must be the murderer. I don't know why you would assume he's the murderer. There's no other clues indicating that he would be a murderer, just that he happened to be near the murdered victim. But I guess that's how justice works, or the lack thereof. It's very easy to just blame whoever's easiest to blame. And Fangs stupidly tries to run, and then his trying to run, his switchblade comes out. Again, that's not what the murder weapon was. The murder weapon was some other kind of knives that were stuck into her, but okay. He gets arrested. And this just serves to rile up the what the fuck are they? The Bulldogs more, right? Reggie is like so on edge. Why does he want to fucking beat people so much? Why is Reggie so fired up?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
He's just really got this rage going. Somebody should help him with that. He should seek therapy because there's no
Rose. I'm trying to go see a therapist about it, okay? I got my anger issues.
And Archie, of course, is back to feeling impotent.
Archie used to hang out with me, and then Veronica's dad came to town, then he's like hanging out with her, and I'm like, hey, wanna half naked arm wrestle? And Archie's like, nah, and it's like, that's not cool, bro. I'm gonna run for student council.
And I'm also gonna start putting on a hood and going out. Now everybody's got a fucking switchblade, okay? So the Bulldogs show up at the White Worm. Plenty of switchblades on them. Now they have their black. Would you say these are hoods or are they just caps?
I would call them. It was like they went to a store and bought the masks that go with Mortal Kombat Halloween costumes. They literally have these things that like go up over the nose that are like ninja masks. Yes? Would
It's
you describe them that
definitely.
way?
Well, didn't they have red ones last time?
No, just red. It was like red cheapo ski masks. These look like, Hiram must have like paid for a fancy. It's stupid too because the masks are supposed to presumably hide their identity. Everybody knows who the fuck it is. Like
But here's the
everyone
thing.
does.
Weren't they the red circle last time?
Yeah.
So why did they change their name and hood?
Red is too easy to spot at night. I don't know, Rose.
I'm just saying they already had a brand. Why
You
not
know,
just
okay,
go
what
back?
happened is that they did this, t-shirts were made, flyers were distributed. Cheryl Blossom sued the entire organization. She said, I run everything red in
That's true.
Riverdale. Okay.
That's true.
Get your summer vacation
Oh,
off.
hold on.
Get it. Get summer vacation. I love that it's always the same commercial. Speaking of things I always want on Riverdale, guess who Jughead gets to defend Fangs?
Peggy, what's her name?
No, Sierra McCoy.
Oh, that's her name. Sorry,
Sierra.
A good lawyer.
And is Josie in this episode? Nope, just
No.
Sierra McCoy for a bunch of scenes.
It's okay. Josie will be back around. Listen, they have too many characters in this show, but I love it. There's nobody I would want to get rid of. If somebody said you had to get rid of 2 people off of Riverdale, who would you get rid of?
I would probably get rid of Miss Grundy and Midge. Oh wait, next show, you were listening. What?
I'd get rid of Archie's mom.
Oh yeah, I'm not a fan.
And Clifford.
Clifford hasn't really done a lot, though.
He did make that lesbian story. I did enjoy that. But after that, I didn't have much use for him. So Attorney McCoy. Remember, she used to be Mayor McCoy, but now she's Attorney McCoy.
I like her much better. I love Sierra McCoy Esquire so much more. I'm just going to say. I love it. I love her storming into places, going, stop talking to my client. I love it.
Which indeed she is correct. He's a minor. There's no reason they should be interrogating him without his attorney present. That is very upsetting. But why you don't refer to lawyers by their like Attorney McCoy or like Attorney whoever. Like that's not a thing that's done anywhere. But Riverdale's special.
Of course
Riverdale's a special place. Archie's mad at the Bulldogs for trashing the South Side. Kevin was in it, right? Did Kevin trash the South Side?
I don't think so. I hope not.
He's there at the meeting thereafter. So I don't know. Is he on the team? Is he on the football team?
I think he is, yeah.
Is he the kicker? Because it's the gay position on a football team.
That is. You know what? Like, you were offended before about my Latino comment. I am now offended. Because you're calling gay men kickers.
I'm just saying that, like, in television show after television show, that's how they're portrayed. Now, somebody else wants to consult Attorney McCoy. Veronica also has some questions for her. She's an attorney to all the teens in town. That's no way to make money, Sierra.
Well, because she's getting back into the lawyer biz. She's really trying to diversify and get a new client base.
Yeah, she's building up her clientele.
And helping teenagers. Teenagers have parents. Think long term. Okay, Rose, come on. She's building a business. Leave her alone.
Cheryl and Betty continue their sleuthing. I love it. I love it. And I also love that Betty will just sleuth with whoever is around. She wanted to sleuth with her boyfriend. He was not into this sleuthing job. So she's like, who else would be into this job? I'm going to get cousin Cheryl. Like, she will always sleuth, and she always needs a backup. And I just really do love them together. It's a sad reason that they have to get on this track, but I do enjoy it. They go to the shitty apartment looking to see if there is any clues in this terrible apartment where Betty's dad stayed. And what does she find there? Dun dun dun.
In the grand tradition of Riverdale naming things shitty versions of real things, instead of an Airbnb, it's called a share B&B. Did you catch that? They say it multiple times.
I do. Is he still paying the rent on this share B&B then? Because he left all his shit there, including a fucking SpaghettiOs open. He's disgusting.
Also, why is milk left out like that? Like,
disgusting.
It's so gross. I hope that
I feel like the Airbnb people would have come back and been like, this is not yours. You can't leave all your stuff here. But conveniently, he has left the Nancy Drew code book right there out in the open. I mean, didn't he know Betty would go sleuthing there? I don't know. He's pretty sloppy. He's not a great serial killer. I mean, he gets it done, but I don't feel
we don't know that he's a serial killer yet.
I'm just saying, like, he's
the
not.
Evidence is mounting against him.
Every piece of evidence she finds is not in his favor. Anyway, now we're at, what is it, another town hall? Does nobody in this town have anything else to do besides go to these? I mean, I guess it's a political season. You got to come out to see who your candidates are.
It's the debate.
Yes. Moderated by Alice Cooper. And I love this debate between Fred and Hermione, former lovers, with Alice in between them. I think that's a great threesome.
Well, it turns out that Alice is both their ex-lovers as well.
I don't think that's accurate. I think it's that Hermione is both their ex-lovers.
Oh, okay.
The other day on Twitter, Madchen Amick posted pictures. It was her and FP, and then she posted her and Hermione, and she definitely was like tagged them with both the ship names. Like, she's into it. And I'm like, yes, you guys, totally. But debate is interrupted because guess who the fuck comes in with a fucking rifle? The Black Hood. The Black fucking Hood. And Betty's screaming for her dad. Her dad is not the Black Hood. Her dad is there not being the Black Hood.
I thought the scene of Archie and Fred was particularly upsetting if you remember all the way back to the time when Archie was very traumatized about the shooting. They seem upset, both of them, that they are under gunfire again.
Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't have to be in that situation. But again, this is America in 2018. It's very gay and there's lots of gunshots. That seems very, again, I said this a couple episodes ago, Riverdale reflects our reality to a T. I don't see anything that seems inaccurate there. Oh my goodness.
Do you think Hiram Lodge is an allegory for Donald Trump? No. He's too smooth. He's too smooth and like contained. Because like, does that mean like that Veronica's Ivanka?
I see where you're going. But I think that's a stretch. I think it's more conceptual than that. It's more just topical. It's not a person for person match. Although Andy Cohen is the Andy Cohen of Riverdale. But other than him, he's the only crossover figure.
Oh my God. I mean, I saw Love, Simon. It was great. I'm just gonna say it. But I don't like that the show plugged it and made me want to see it more than I already wanted to see it. But I will never forgive that show for the Andy Cohen thing. Like,
No.
I just never will.
No. It was their low point. But I think they did it on purpose to make a low point so that they wouldn't have another one. They're like, we know what our low point is. It's the Andy Cohen thing. Don't worry about it. It's the best.
I do wish, this is a weird aside, and I'm sorry to detract a little, but
No,
one
go
of
ahead.
the weird things that I loved about Buffy, and actually like going back and watching some of the episodes, is that they used the Bronze as this weird way to like feature sort of like fun bands you may not have heard of, that like they're like forever a part of that show because, you know, they integrated them into like the scene or something. And it would be nice if Riverdale found some way to like do that where it was more organic, because the shows have been, tried to feature music in other CW shows and it was never as effective as having it at the Bronze and Buffy.
Oh yeah. I mean, I will never forget that Michelle Branch performance during Willow and Tara's breakup. Like, I still cannot listen to that song without crying.
Goodbye to you.
Oh my God. Like, I genuinely cry when that song plays. I'm not kidding you. It's the truth. So I agree. That was a very effective use of a crossover between reality and the show, because they didn't put it in your face. They didn't like name anybody. They didn't even announce them or anything. They would just be playing music in that place. They didn't say, hey, and now we have the fucking, you know, whatever the fuck band over here. It just was part of it. They were just experiencing it.
It really bothers me during the debate that Hermione is so like Fangs did it. Like, he's a fucking kid. And it's just like this whole thing about him at the police station later, and like there being literally like 100 to 150 extras all screaming like and pumping their fists in the air is so, I don't know, there's something about that that's so upsetting. And like, shouldn't the police be protecting him? They're like, yeah, we're releasing you. We don't care about the fucking riot that's outside.
Yeah, well, because everybody's all riled up. Obviously, they hate the Black Hood. But then again, clearly the Black Hood attacked the debate. It wasn't Fangs, because Fangs was in custody. But Sierra McCoy points out they're not the same thing. Killing Midge and the Black Hood attacking the Thing is not the same. But, you know, they really have nothing to hold Fangs on. Hermione is very shaken up. I mean, she was just shot at. You know, this isn't a fucking joke.
Oh, I didn't see this before, but Sweet Pea sees the gun that Reggie's holding. And that's part of the reason why he's such a dick in the next one, like destroying the school and everything, because he really thought that Reggie shot Fangs. Also, Fangs gets shot. We should say that. I'm very upset by it. I like Fangs has more to do in this episode than he's had the entire run of the second season.
It's true, but you know what? I think it just goes to show that we all did feel positively about Fangs. But that's what I mean. This show has so many characters that a character who has had no lines almost and only just sort of hung around the people that we know, and not even the main characters of the people that we know, is suddenly now thrust into the spotlight. We're sympathetic to him, and then he has like a major life event and then is shipped, like disappears like in the same episode. That's insane. There's a lot of characters, and we're thus far I'm actually pretty invested in most of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
I do think that the show will have a trigger pulling problem when it comes to killing characters. It seems to like everybody, and so I just don't think they're going to, like, arguably Midge had very little to do for the show, that they didn't really develop her at all. But even Fangs at this point is like developed, and all of the parents I think are as well. So I don't know. Would be hard for them to kill people, and the
That's what I'm
show is
saying.
something where you have to kill people for. So
I mean, maybe everything will just be fine in the town this year. Maybe there will be no problems and everybody will just enjoy their life.
my
I
eyes
don't
are bugging out of my head right now. They're coming straight out at you, Rose. I will close by saying Cheryl's scream as she opens the door to the Black Hood at the end of this one needs to be my computer wallpaper. She screams with her entire face. It's amazing.
She's and then what happens next in the next episode, also amazing. We'll get to that next time, but I agree.
So I have to say this part is, so I was watching the finale today and I'm working tomorrow. So I took I had today off. And so I woke up and I wanted to catch up on a couple TV things. And I was probably about halfway through the episode and David sat down and watched it with me because he woke up. And so um, there's like two great takeaways. He goes, wait, so who's she? And he pointed to Cheryl, even though I've explained this to him before. And I went, how do I explain Cheryl Blossom? She's a mystery wrapped in an enigma. And I liked, and he went, so she's me. And I went, if you were a Riverdale character, you would most likely be Cheryl Blossom. So I guess I'm Tony Topaz in this scenario, which I'm okay with. And then
amazing.
He watched a few of Archie's decision-making processes throughout that episode, and he went, he is so dumb. And I went, he's so dumb, though. So stupid. That very blue lit pornographic scene where Archie and Veronica go at it at each other too, just taking their clothes off in front of each other, was very sort of light pornographic. I didn't mind it.
Listen, I don't mind it that Archie and Veronica get to do all that they get to do.
They bang it out.
Healthy teen lovers. I just feel like we spent a lot of time on their sexual exploits. And I mean, her lingerie is great. Or it's a dress. I don't even know what to call that. But
a negligee. I would call it a negligee.
I just feel like when are the other couples, namely the Cheryl and Tony couples, gonna get this kind of time for their love making?
Betty and Jughead really don't get to bang it out in the same way that even Veronica
nobody does. Only Archie and Veronica. Come on, fuck that. Like, it's fine, but we've seen it. Let's get something else going. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, Betty confronts her dad and is like, hey, I think you're the Black Hood. And he's like, no, you're not the Black Hood. Hugs. But of course, she doesn't believe him. She knows the truth. Her dad is the motherfucking Black Hood. She sees a hood. She found a hood. She knows the hood. Her dad's the motherfucking hood. He shouldn't leave his hoods lying around.
No.
It's pretty dumb of him. And then, it's so gross because the hood, of course, has been phoning her up. And
lollipop, lollipop, oh, lolly, lolly, lolly.
It's just gross. It's gross. He was like, oh, you're just like me. You're going to do what I do. I want you to do. It's gross. It's fucking gross.
He has a darkness inside him as well, Rose. So was this a Betty episode or a Veronica episode?
I'm going to go with Betty because Betty did so much sleuthing with her cousin.
Carol?
Yeah, and figured out who the murderer was, and yeah, she was fucking amazing, and it's her dad, and she's upset that her father's a murderer, and it's very, very sad, but she looks amazing while she's finding out all of these things. And Veronica didn't do that much. She does break from her father in this episode as well. And she decides she's going to work on Fred Andrews' campaign, which is why she and Archie decide to go have sex, because they're so happy that she's going to join his father's political campaign. A usual reason that teenagers engage in sexual activity.
Mm-hmm.
But what about you? Or Betty or Veronica?
Oh, Betty all the way. Betty hands down in this one. Because I don't know that Veronica made the right financial decisions in investing in Elio's Pizza. Wait, it wasn't pizza. I'm sorry, but his name was Elio, and I was going to make that reference.
Okay,
so
don't let it pass. Don't let it pass. What about the gayest moment of the episode?
Was definitely when Reggie went to go shoot Fangs.
Get your summer vacation on with
is
Southwest.
making this face like he is about to take it in his butt.
Wow. Wow.
No, I didn't. That's our Reggie voice.
The gayest moment of the episode for me.
Like for real gay?
I mean, we said we're going to find the gayest moment of the episode.
Archie and Hiram were talking in his
Yeah,
office,
I'm going to
and
say
once again it was gay.
Archie in Hiram's lair, as always. That's usually filled with sexual tension. Archie was wearing like a hoodie with nothing underneath. I don't know.
Yeah, he was.
Hiram
he was like, "Take me, Hiram, take me, please, make me a man."
Ugh, Hiram's pretty slimy. It was much better when he was in jail.
I know. I do miss the simpler days of Riverdale. I won't lie.
I hope they go back to somewhat of people having a positive experience in life. It's just so hard. Like, everybody has to have a good day sometimes. I remember having this feeling in the L Word as well. And I mean, the L Word is a difficult show for me to talk about. A lot of things happened, went wrong, could be said about it. But there's a time there when everything goes bad for Bet Porter, Jennifer Beals' character. And it's for her own. It's for her own doing. She makes a lot of mistakes, and she has to live with the repercussions of it. But everything just goes bad and goes bad and goes bad. And then they have one episode where she sort of has like an okay day, and it's like, oh look, Bet had a decent time today. It was like a relief. So I'm just saying, once in a while, you have to have people have that recalibration, have that decompression time. They have to have an okay day once in a while.
Balance in life.
Exactly. I mean, Fangs is getting shot. Tony is in this episode. Tony like pops up a lot supporting her friends. But I need to hear more from Tony. I need to see Cheryl and Tony. I mean, I was fine with Cheryl and Tony not being together that in this episode, but I need to see some more of them in season 3 for sure. For sure.
I agreed.
Right out the gate, straight off the bat. We're getting it. I hope so. Poor Fangs, man. It must have been scary to have to go through that gauntlet.
Yes.
Archie gets down there right quick, though. Jughead calls him. Archie's in bed with Veronica post-coital, and then Jughead's like, you need to get down here. And he just rushes right down there. You're right. Our Reggie does look very hell-bent on attacking Fangs in this crowd scene. Anyway, any final thoughts on chapter 33, Shadow of a Doubt?
No, I was going to ask you if you want to do the next chapter tomorrow night to play catch up. But you can talk to Jen about it and we can decide later.
All right, that sounds like a very possible idea. I will inquire with the wife.
The reason why I'm saying this is because I am working tomorrow and then I'm having dinner with one of my staff members. And by the time I get back to the house, David will be gone for work probably. So I will just have nothing to do here. So I would like to spend some time with you again, but I don't want to take you away from your weekend activities. So
I appreciate this. I will inquire with the wife. We
can do it earlier in the night.
Good to know. Good to know. I'll let you know. I'll Twitter message you as I do. Do you have any recommendations?
So the reason why I was late, and this is sad, but it was because I wanted to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. finale, which was pretty good. I'm glad I did. I'm sorry I made you wait for me to finish. It was both sad and then it had a nice ending, but it got like 9-9, it got renewed. David and I also watched like 3 or 4 episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine in a row, and I'm just going to say it's probably you need to be a fan of the show, but the one when they're all worried about Rosa is particularly stressful, and David and I were very quiet during it. Like we're not sure if they were going to kill Rosa, which I think is supposed to be the point of it, but we've also just been enjoying Rosa immensely in the last couple episodes. She's been the wedding dress one with Amy was great, and a lot of Amy Rosa, which I liked. They partner up in a couple of them, but and then I just was watching Molly's Game, which I've wanted to see for a long time, and I don't know if you have seen it or you have any interest in seeing it, but Jessica Chastain is in it, and she is. Her lawyer is played by Idris Elba, who I did not know was in it, and he is also very good in it, and she's very good in it, and it's a good story, and I'm almost at the end, and I'm excited to see the end.
Jen and I did want to go see Molly's Game, and we didn't end up going to see it, so I will remind her that we want to see it, and maybe we can watch it.
I got it from the library, so I didn't have to pay a red cent. So
plug for libraries. Do I have any recommendations?
Yeah. How about you, Rose?
I haven't been watching anything. I haven't been doing. I don't know. I don't really I haven't consumed anything good. I read a book and it was sort of shitty. Not that the person didn't work hard. I acknowledge that, but it just didn't go anywhere. I don't know if I have any recommendations. My recommendation is, I don't know. Look at a picture of Demi Lovato. She's great. Terrific. She looks terrific. That's my recommendation this week. She just always looks good, man. I'm a huge fan of pictures of her.
I will say I've been loving all the Riverdale cast on Instagram because they were at the CW upfronts this week, and so they took a lot of fun pictures. They clearly were having the most fun out of everybody there. So.
Oh, are we going to see them in October?
I am. Yeah, that's the plan, man. So.
That con, there was an ad for the con during the finale here.
Oh, there was. Well, yeah. Maybe we should buy tickets super in advance. That might be a good idea.
I'll look into it.
I was trying to see because I'm not sure that they still have compelling cast members going, but this is also one of the only ones they're doing because
they said the cast members that they showed were Lily Reinhart, a compelling cast member.
That's exciting.
I feel like maybe Hermione.
Yeah, that might also be right.
And maybe Luke Perry. I feel like maybe it was them.
He went to the other one. They have announced people at this point, I think.
It was just a straight up commercial during the finale.
Yeah, it's the first weekend in October.
Yeah, here we go. Parsippany, New Jersey.
Oh, Ulrich and Veronica's
that's
going.
That's right. I was just totally wrong. It's Skeet Ulrich, it's Veronica, and it's Betty. So I feel like that's compelling, right there.
Yeah. So it's right now. It's Betty, Veronica, Skeet Ulrich, Reggie, and Betty's dad, the Black Hood himself.
The Black Hood is gonna be there. We gotta go.
So then, listen, Rose. What we have to do is clearly go do some investigation, go to a ski store, buy some Black Hood masks, cut some eye holes out of it, and then take pictures with him with our eye holes.
Oh my God. That sounds amazing. I love it. We're going. I'm going to look
But KJ Apa didn't announce he was going to Chicago until 2 weeks before it happened.
Yeah, sure.
So
I believe that.
And then what's her name? the chick who played Cheryl was supposed to go to the Chicago one forever and then canceled at the very last minute.
We'll never know what's going to happen.
Well, at these creation things, Rose, I'm just saying, because this happened with the Vampire Diaries ones, don't get your hopes up because their filming schedule might change and then they can't go. So they usually try to replace them with somebody else. But I would go for one of them, if not both. So.
Yeah, no, if for any of those people, I'm gonna go. It's gonna be fun. It'll be interesting. I've never been to that kind of a con. I've been to other conventions, but not like this type of one. So I'm intrigued by the whole experience. And it's an hour and a half from my house. I can just drive there and have an experience and then drive home. And that sounds like fun. So let's get it together. Let's go.
Okay.
Woo. All right. I'm gonna go finish the champagne with my wife. I did read, I'm gonna just say this to you, I'm not gonna put this on the podcast, but I did read some very smutty Tony Cheryl fan fiction today.
I hope that's getting you through this, them not showing enough, right? You gotta read it.
I actually had a lot of thoughts about them not showing more of them because it seems like they filmed more and they didn't air it. So I don't know. I think they're just trying to do a lot and maybe that didn't advance the plot and they can whatever. But they did show other things that didn't advance the plot. So I'm kind of pissed, but I have my fanfic and I will remain cautiously optimistic.
Maybe write some of your own.
I've never written Cheryl Tony fanfic.
Yet.
Yes. Yeah.
That part you should play at the end of the podcast. I've never written Cheryl Tony fanfic yet. That's the best part. Okay. Well, I love you. I hope you can do another one tomorrow.
All right. I'll message you tomorrow.
Okay. If you can't, it's no big deal though. I understand.
No, I want to. We'll see if we work it out. All right. Okay. Have a good night.
Bye.